Most Americans today have heard the same idea, that Islam is outdated, strict, or irrational. It appears in political debates, media commentary, and late-night conversations. But repeating an idea, doesn't to make it true. So today, we're asking a simple question. What actually happens when you test that belief? When you remove the noise, the stereotypes, the assumptions, and look only at evidence? This is Man versus Religion, and today, Islam goes under the microscope. Welcome to the channel. Here, we don't preach, and we don't attack. We investigate. In this episode, we take a closer look at one of the world's most discussed and misunderstood religions. We'll examine its ethical structure, its intellectual claims, its historical record, and its relevance in a modern world. The goal isn't to prove or disprove anything. It is to understand what survives when emotion is removed from the conversation. We begin with ethics. Modern Western morality is constantly shifting. Positions that were mainstream a decade ago are questioned today. Islam, in contrast, offers a fixed moral framework, a set of principles built around family stability, responsibility, moderation, and protection from exploitation. Critics say this rigidity is limiting. Supporters say it prevents moral confusion. And regardless of where one stands, the pattern is clear. Islamic teachings on alcohol, gambling, interest-based debt, and family responsibilities are built around long-term social outcomes. They prioritize societal stability even when it restricts personal freedom. The question becomes whether consistency is outdated or whether a stable moral compass provides something our rapidly changing society may be losing. Next, we examine rationality, one of the most common points of criticism in the United States. Islam's intellectual foundation begins with an extremely simple definition of God. One creator, without form, partners, or limitations. Philosophically, this aligns with the principle of simplicity. The idea that the fewer assumptions an explanation requires, the stronger it is. Then there is the Quran. Unlike many ancient texts, it has a documented record of preservation through both memorization and manuscripts, spread across multiple regions, yet remaining consistent over centuries. You can debate what it teaches, but its transmission history is unusually traceable. The claim of prophethood also invites scrutiny. Muhammad is one of the most documented figures of ancient history. His speeches, judgments, personal habits, political decisions, and daily interactions were recorded in detail. Whether one accepts the religious claim or not, the historical data is substantial. When judged strictly on logic, not belief, Islam's core claims are internally coherent. They don't contradict each other, and they don't rely on mythological elements common in many ancient traditions. So why is it so often labeled irrational? Is it the religion itself, or the narratives built around it? History brings us to another major area of criticism. Words like violent, oppressive, and backward are common in Western conversations about Islamic civilization. Yet the historical record is more complex. For centuries, cities like Baghdad, Cordoba, Cairo, and Damascus were major centers of learning. Scholars in mathematics, medicine, astronomy, optics, philosophy, and architecture pushed global knowledge forward. Women in many Islamic societies owned property, managed businesses, and had defined legal rights long before similar rights appeared in Europe. Minority communities, including Christians and Jews, lived under protection laws. These laws weren't modern equality, but they offered more stability than what minorities experienced in many other regions at the same time. None of this erases the wars, politics, or conflicts. Every civilization has those. But the gap between stereotype and reality is wide. It raises the question, are we reacting to history or reacting to modern geopolitics? Finally, we test Islam's relevance in the modern world. We live in a time of rising anxiety, increasing addiction, economic instability, loneliness, and identity confusion. Islam's teachings, structure, discipline, moderation, community, purpose, address these pressures directly. Its financial model challenges interest-based systems that many economists argue are unstable. Its emphasis on family and community counters growing social fragmentation. Its clear, daily structure appeals to people who feel overwhelmed by uncertainty. None of this proves that Islam is true, but it does raise a serious question. Is Islam outdated, or is modern life struggling in ways that this ancient system anticipated? So after putting Islam under the microscope, what did we find? Its ethical framework is consistent. Its intellectual structure is clearer than commonly assumed. Its historical record is more balanced than the stereotypes suggest, and its modern relevance is stronger than many expect. This doesn't mean the religion is beyond criticism. It doesn't mean every interpretation is correct. But it does mean that when you actually test Islam, the conversation becomes far more interesting than the headlines. This is man versus religion. Our goal is not to defend or attack belief, but to examine it. In our next episode, we take the investigation further by examining the Quran itself, its linguistic claims, scientific claims, and historical claims. If you want to follow the evidence without the noise, subscribe. This investigation is just beginning.